Welcome back to Halmstad, Sweden, the IPF World Open Powerlifting Championships 2018, and it is going to heat up here as the super heavyweights come out to play, and it is going to be all sorts of fun. Welcome back into the commentary box. Of course, Elliot Bulldog Feldman is joining us again, and we are going to take you through all the action. But of course, a shout out to our sponsors, Alico, raising the bar higher and higher than ever, the finest strength equipment on the planet. Uplift, one of the greatest coaching platforms in the world, and SBD, the finest powerlifting equipment you can get your hands on. And it is going to get exciting here today. What do you think is the prognosis today, Elliot?
Well, I'm telling you what, everybody's really consistent. We saw the 120s yesterday. 120s make lifts, makes lifts, make lifts. All of a sudden it comes to the 120 pluses. These guys want to put on a show. So they're going to push the envelope. Guys like Konovalov from Russia, Blaine Sumner, Joe Capolino, Julian J.K. Johansson, Svistadov from the Ukraine are going to try and push and push. We're probably going to see at least one world record attempt, if not two, in the squat. We're going to see Blaine Sumner opening right now at 415. That's 5 kilos over his record. His his openers are listed as 1205. 1227.5 is his existing world total record, so that's in danger. He could also take a shot at being best lifter of the competition. 1229 gets him there, and he can even have the first 700 Wilks in the IPF. He needs a little bit more. If things go well for him, it could happen here. But we don't even know, because he's got to get a squat in the bench. He's got to get a bench in the deadlift. He's got to get a deadlift in the total. If he doesn't do that, he's got nothing.
Right now, Chai Ji Fong, Hong Kong, 290 kilograms.
So we got a 290 opener there, and then we start with some craziness.
Just getting the rack heights where they want it. And when these guys walk onto the platform, it's hard to tell just how big they are. But those spotters and loaders aren't little guys themselves. And these heavyweights come out and make them look small.
Watch the intensity on these guys as the weights get heavier and heavier. The intensity on the spotters and loaders, they've done a great job all week.
Boy, he sunk that in. That's low for a heavyweight. He gets really, really deep, and that should be a good lift, and it is.
No doubt about that.
Great way to start this final session. First lift on the board, and of course our next lifter, Ita from Japan, 325 kilograms going on the bar. And I've got to say a big shout out to the spotters and loaders this week. They have been absolutely outstanding. And they have one of the toughest jobs in the whole competition, and today is probably their toughest day. Right now, though, 325 on the bar. And you'll see a lot of these heavyweights will have their hands out. Great job from the spotters there. He just had the bar a little lower on his back and it rolled back, and those guys jumped on that really fast. Sinks it in. Oh, but just can't get his balance at the top there.
Now, did he get the rack command first?
No,
apparently
he did not.
Apparently not.
Spotters doing an absolutely fantastic job there.
Gary, if he had gotten the rack command and then stepped backwards, that would have been a good lift.
Once the rack command, it's fine, but no rack command. Jamie Connolly from Australia, a big boy from down under. And a great coach in his corner, Sean Muir, the president of the Australian Powerlifting Union. Now, it's quite a new federation in the IPF and are growing rapidly. But here comes big Jamie Connolly from down under. 335 kilograms. And he is an absolute giant. You can hear his coach in the background, down, down, down. He gets right down in there, and it should be a good lift. Oh, just the side ref saying not quite deep enough.
Yeah, I think.
And as he's walking off there, you can see him talking to his coach, and he knows he wasn't quite there.
Yeah, Jamie starts getting forward a little bit, just doesn't hit depth.
Yeah, just got a little bit off balance.
Yep.
He'll fix that up on the next one without any problem, though.
That's not a problem. You know, it's the first time he's been here to World Open.
Yeah, I believe this is his first world-equipped event.
Yeah.
So Garrett Bentley now from Canada, 345. And just watching Sean from Australia, the coach, head coach and president of the APU, putting his next attempt. So have a look at that. See, they put some more weight on to help drop him down. The 345 on the bar.
And this is near the top of what Garrett's done in internationals. He did 350 at the CPU, Canadian Affiliates Championship this year in Calgary.
Really having to force down.
There you go.
Boy, he got no acceleration from that suit or those knee wraps, but just stood straight back up with 345.
Yeah, that was, you know, again, you said it's his first in equipment. You can kind of tell he's not really working it. He'll feel a little more comfortable on his second.
Yeah, you've really got to build that confidence in the equipment as well.
Yeah, and I think the weight will help him get down. I mean, he's really fighting that suit. He knew where the bottom was, but he really had to push into it. And now, if you want to see a massive man, Jari Montikainen from Finland. I don't know about you.
The giant from Finland.
But if I saw him coming off a Viking ship, swinging an axe,
I would hand over my farm.
Whatever it was, the whole country. Here's, what do you want, Mr. Montikainen?
350 on the bar.
Now, these are big guys on the platform, spotting and loading, and look how big Jari is.
No problem standing up with that. What do the refs say about that one? 2 whites, it's on the board.
And like most of the Finns, the Swedes, the Nords, white till you see him pull. Montikainen is a great deadlifter. There you go.
Now 370 getting loaded on the bar from Lupus from Romania. It's quite difficult to see just how big these guys are when you're watching them on TV. But when you stand next to one of these guys, you all of a sudden you feel like an elf.
Well, he weighs 137 kilos.
And he's not even anywhere near the heaviest. 370 on the bar.
I rode in a Trabant once. I think it was only 145 kilos. So this will give you an idea about how big Lupas is.
Oh, depth looks good on that one. Handles that very, very easily. And 3 white lights.
So Europeans, he did 375 back in May in Pilsen, Czech Republic. So he's doing well right now. Julian J.K. Johansson's up now, 385.
So 385 goes on the bar for the big Icelandic, and these guys know how to lift.
And Fong made that easy 290 as passing his second and third attempts.
Yeah, it looks like he's saving himself, particularly for the bench press.
I still think with so few athletes in here, now we're down to 10 athletes, and these are the big guys pushing big weights.
Yeah, often you'll see them leave their attempts on, even they just time it out just to give the extra minute.
Yeah, it's just kind of a sportsmanlike thing to do because these guys have been thinking, they know how many athletes are going to be here. They've been setting their training for 11. Now they're down to 10, which is too quick for these big guys anyway.
Gets down into it, and he's got a big smile on his face.
JK.
And the big Icelandic.
That kid is only, and I say a kid, 25 years old.
Vladimir Bitsinov from the Ukraine now, 425 kilograms going
crazy?
on the bar.
This is almost not our average squat, but our mean squat. This is only about halfway through the squatting. That's just crazy.
Wow. We're only on first attempts, and we're in well over the 400 kilo.
Now he can stand in here. He can take a good shot at winning the gold. Konovalov, Savistov, Capolino, and Sumner. One of them is going to win the gold.
Yeah, look, and this is where it always gets really interesting with the super heavyweights, these squats and the opening squats. You know, we always talk about you've got to get them on the board. You know, when you get your super heavyweights, you know, some of these guys have got a history of missing two and not getting till their third. Let's see how he goes, though. And 2 reds, not getting down low enough. And the weight is not a problem.
No, we've seen that with Konovalov in the past. He has a trouble with his depth. Yeah, he's high there looking from that angle.
Joseph Capolino now with 435 kilograms, 959 pounds.
Now I can say now, no one knows, no one's really paying attention to this at this moment to be able to do anything about it. But Joey Capolino hit a 475 in training. I saw the video. It looked light on his back, but again, is he going to be able to get the depth right now? If he's going to get to that point, he's got to go 435 here for his opener.
All right, let's see if we can get it on the board. 435, walkout, very comfortable. Dips in at the bottom there.
There he goes.
Handles it. It should be 3 whites. Oh, 3 red lights. Let's have a look at the replay. We have a very, very different angle here.
Let's see what. I mean, it looked okay. I want to see.
Oh, it's borderline.
It's borderline.
He's pushed the envelope a little bit too far there, and they've given him 3 red lights.
That's a bit not much.
You've got to be convincing.
Cannot appeal that because it's 3 reds.
3 red lights.
We have a 5-man jury here for an overturn. It takes a 3-2 vote of the jury to do that. Right now, Andrei Konovalov is opening at 445. And guys, don't count out Julian J.K. Johansson getting on the medal stand if a couple of these guys make mistakes.
Yeah, look, the super heavyweights are always exciting, especially in the squats. Stands up very easily, 445, and 3 white lights.
Now he's put a lot of pressure on Blaine Sumner, opening at 465 kilos. Let's take a look at this right here.
So here comes the big man from the USA, weighing in at 172.8 kilos, 465 on the bar, 1,025 pounds.
You know, if you ever want to see something, Gary, that's absolutely freaky athletic, go on YouTube and hit Blaine Sumner football and watch his college football career highlights. He ran the ball, played fullback, defensive tackle, linebacker.
And now a super heavyweight power lifter.
Imagine this guy running the ball at you.
Blaine Sumner, 465.
Look at this here.
He makes the rack look small. He makes the bar look small.
Here's one of the thickest people I've ever seen. And you see him. I mean, he's huge, but you get close, he's smaller than he looks in a way because he's so tight.
Depth looks good from this angle. We'll wait and see what the referees have got to say. And it's on the board at 465.
All right, game is on here. So, obviously, his world record, his own world record of 505 is in jeopardy. I guess your own record being in jeopardy isn't that bad.
It's not that bad, is it?
But
he's not too worried.
No, not too worried about taking his own record. But also, too, now he can come in here. He can become champion of champions.
Yeah, now wouldn't it, you look, we talk about champion and champions, and that is calculated on a mathematical formula of the best lifter overall. And Fedosienko has won that so many times.
Oh, yeah.
He missed out in the Classic in Canada. I think Ray Williams got best lifter there. It's a really big thing to take that as best lifter overall.
Right. So to watch out here, 12:29 will give Blaine, champion of champions, 12:92.5 will give him 700 Wilks. So let's see what happens right here. Ito, Japan.
325, and it moves easily. He's got to get the depth, though.
That is so easy.
And he does this time. He's on the board with 325.
Very, very easy. Very steady for him.
Now the big man, Jamie Connolly, they've thrown an extra few kilos on there to try and push him down. Hopefully he's got those first lift nerves out. This is his first big world-equipped championships.
You know, and something else that needs to be factored into this, Russia and the Ukraine are battling it out for the men's team.
And here comes Jamie Connolly, 340 kilograms on the bar.
Ukraine stands at 57, Russia 49. Chinese Taipei doesn't have anybody in here at 42. They're locked into the bronze. But Konovalov can change this thing here if he wins it big.
Gets back to the top. Was he deep enough on that one? He's cutting it very close.
Yes,
and he was. He gets the 2 whites. That's enough. He's on the board.
So right now the issue is for Savistinov and the Ukrainians, he does not have a squat on the board yet. Russia is 8 points behind the Ukraine. If Savistinov gets a 0, does not score any points, Konovalov gets a 9 or better, Russia takes the gold medal from Ukraine.
All right, now, Jari from Finland, 360 on the bar.
I mean, this guy is so big, so strong, and just look at him. He looks like he came right out of Central Casting for a movie. Whether Game of Thrones or the show The Vikings on TV. And here he is, 360 kilos.
He's got very good control. Knees just tracking a little bit, but he drops into it. From where we're sitting, it looks good, but no, it's not deep on one side. He's got a blue, he's got a yellow, he's got a whole rainbow of colors up there.
I mean, he squatted over 5. He squatted 405 in 2006 IPF World Championships in Stavanger, Norway, and the EPFs in 2007. He also repeated that. So he is a very, very, very strong man. Garrett Bentley's up now, Canada.
365 goes up on the bar now. Just taking his time there. Probably wants to get a little bit of a move on.
You know, and I'm watching Blaine Sumner's number. He made that 465. He only put in 475, which to me says his game today, more than world records, is champion of champions, and possibly the first 700.
He's actually playing, by looking at the 475, he's actually playing that smart game. When we talk about athletes, going after world records or going after championships, and he's got his eye focused very strongly on that world championship and that best lifter, champion of champions.
Yep.
Garrett Bentley, 365. He's only got 10 seconds left on the clock to get set up. He's cut it a little bit fine there, I think. But he gets a squat command with a few seconds up his sleeve. Very smooth squat to the top. Yes. And he gets it on the board with 3 white lights. We load the bar to 385 now from Lupus from Romania. 385 kilograms.
The way we finished up last year, David Lupaš from Czech Republic in Czechia won the championship. Savistinov finished second in the silver medal. Julian J.K. Johansson, remember I said he could get up on the medal stand? Took the bronze last year because some other guys made mistakes.
He's no stranger to it.
No, Konovalov and Capellino both did not finish the meet.
A little bit awkward on the walkout. Struggling to get out of the rack there, but handles it very, very well. And not getting down deep enough though. This is. I mean, we see this a lot though with the super heavyweights. It is really hard for these guys to get down to depth. Yeah, but they've got to hit the same standard that every other lifter has.
Yeah, it's hard to get down to depth. It's also hard to judge them too. It really is when we're talking about the, the women and even the 120s yesterday. It is a lot harder. They have to be judged to exactly the same standard, but it's harder to see. You have more spotters and loaders out there. There's more tension from the audience.
And 400 kilograms for Julian Johansson from Iceland for a personal best.
Now watch him get under there. You can see there's kind of a crease when he bends under, and that's the crease the referee's looking to pick up. See that crease still stays in the suit. That needs to get below the top of the knee. And it looks like he might have it there.
Oh, he's had to work hard for that one.
Let's see what the referees are saying. Yes.
And it's a good lift, 400 kilos on the bar.
425 kgs, 900.
All right, here comes the first pressure point of this session. Savistinov missed 425. He's got to score points. If he scores pretty much any points, then the Ukraine will take the team title. If he doesn't, Konovalov only needs 9 points for Russia to vault above Ukraine and steal that gold medal.
Yeah, look, 425 is well below striking range for him.
Oh, yeah.
It's really just about depth. The weight is not an issue. And he's a very, very big man, but he really needs to convince the referees that he's hitting depth on these squats.
I mean, he's hit 452.5 before, so this is well within his capabilities. But he hasn't made a really big attempt.
From
wow,
where we're sitting, that looked a lot better.
That looked very easy and much deeper. There you go.
3 white lights. He's on it. Joseph Capellino, 435 again. Just not getting down deep enough.
Ball loaded, 1 minute. Capellino, USA.
So 435 is on the bar. And the bar's loaded.
So that for Konovalov, that is the highest squat he's hit in World Open Championship since 2011.
Yeah, so he's got a PB a lot bigger than that, but it's been quite some time since he's hit that sort of number in an international event.
Yeah, 2014-15 in there was probably the top of what he's done. Right now, Joe Capellino, this is an easy weight on his back. He did 475 in training. This is 435. He just cut it a little bit. I almost think a little more weight will help him get down more, but we have to see. He's got to get this in here.
Yeah, look, he just cut that shot as well.
Boy.
And you can see he didn't get the acceleration. He's put himself under a bit of pressure now.
470.
And right now, Andrei Konovalov from Russia, 475 kilograms. Yeah, look, he's just didn't really get down in there. And you can see he just wasn't getting the acceleration coming up.
No, not at all.
Russia.
I mean, Joe normally gets a squat in.
475 on the bar. Konovalov from Russia. Got a 445 opener and it's now jumped to a massive 475, which is not unusual at all for these guys.
Now it's a 30 kilo jump. I like it. Blaine Sumner took the 10 kilo jump, 465 to 475. Konovalov puts a lot of pressure on Blaine to come back and hit this.
Doesn't look super comfortable in the walkout there.
You know,
I
that
think
looked a
he
little
might have-
sketchy at the
yeah,
top.
I think he might have doubled a little bit. We'll wait and see.
And he's high, it looks like there.
Doesn't look like he was sinking that one.
No, that's not. You hear the buzz in the crowd, they know.
Yeah, 3 red lights. He knew it as well.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't close enough. He jumped it. Watch him kind of jump. If we see it, he jumps, comes back up.
Yeah, and he never looked comfortable
Nah.
walking there. Like, just didn't feel right on his back. But right now, Blaine Sumner, 4.75 as well.
Well, Konovalov did an awful lot for him right there by missing that, and Blaine hits his 4.75. He can then take a big jump maybe and go after something if he wants to. If not, just stay in the flow. Try to get the first 700 Wilks.
4.75 on the bar. Got a little bit off balance there. Managed to regain though.
Yeah, but it looked high. It didn't look
and
like
it was
got
high.
down. Yeah.
So the door is still there.
He left it open. He could have slammed the door. Now he's got to make sure he gets that in.
Ito from Japan, 340 kilograms for his last lift.
You know, we see so often here, and we see it in the supers more than we see it in any other class, just opening at a very, very high percentage. Again, normally we look to about 92%, 93%. These guys, if you figure the percentage, 465 to 475, that's almost not a change in weight for some of them.
340 for Ito from Japan. Missed his open at 325, handled it very, very well in his second, now jumping to 340. Just taking his time. It's a very, very high setup on that bar. Depth looks good on that. He stands it back up. Gets a little bit off balance midway, but gets it through. And 3 white lights for 340. The big man, Jamie Connolly, now gets his second on the board. Now looking at 355.
355 kgs. That means also 782 pounds.
355.
1 minute, Connolly, Australia. Martikainen, next lifter.
So right now we're at about a 50% make rate on these attempts. That's from first on up. And that's why I say Johansson could come in here and steal it, because Martikainen can come in and steal a medal.
Yeah, it's one of the things with the super heavyweights is you look at the nominating totals, and realistically, yeah, it becomes anyone's game because they do tend to try and hit such high percentages.
Yep.
And that's a no lift for Jamie, but he got one on the board, so he's still in there with a total. Jari from Finland now 360. Now he missed this on his second. Had a good 350 opener.
Followed 1 minute.
Yeah, so Julian won the bronze medal, and he's looking like he's in that position. He's going to hit lifts. He's got a 410 coming up. He's got a good bench, not a great bench.
Yeah, look,
and then he's got a great deadlift.
And that's really the thing when you come up in a competition against guys like Blaine Sumner, you know, Konovalov, you know, Ukraine, USA, Russia. When you come against these guys, if you can hit lifts consistently all the way through, you give yourself this opportunity to roll through over the top, because these guys, and we know these guys, these bigger lifts, tend to get a few misses.
Looks like Jari might be.
Looks like he's got to time this one out.
Yeah, so he's
saving a bit of energy there.
He's leaving the time in there.
Yeah, and we'll see a lot of athletes do that, particularly in these weight classes. you know, just to make sure the other guys get their extra minute.
Well, Yari might, you know, he might be trying to go for a medal in the deadlift, so save a little bit of energy here.
So we'll move on now. We'll load the bar up to 372.5 for Garrett Bentley from Canada. 372.5, and these spotters and loaders are working so hard out there today.
I mean, he has annihilated his international PB. Annihilated it. He hits this here.
So he's on 372.5. What was his previous international? 350. That is a huge PB for an international competition.
Well, they've been talking about this guy, him for a couple of years.
Yeah, look, and as far as super heavyweights are concerned, I mean, he only weighs in at 127 kilos, which is quite small for your 120 pluses.
Yeah, exactly. So I met him first time last year, and I went to him. I said, you don't get any better looking. He says, you just met me. I go, I'm telling you, I've known. You haven't gotten any better looking. But he's a good guy, Garrett. Took it all in stride. It's hard to fluster a Canadian.
I say small for a heavyweight, but he's an absolute giant.
And look at him compared to the spotters and loaders, who are big guys themselves.
372.5. Throws it into overdrive and gets to the top. And it's 2-1. It's on the board. Lupas from Romania now at 385. Missed 385 on his second.
Bar loaded in 1 minute. Lupas, Romania, 385 kgs.
You know, it's a shame that Lupas isn't in this. Not this Lupas, Lupak from Czechia, because it was amazing last year when he won in his own country.
That was absolutely incredible. It was a full house.
People went bananas, and he was a national hero, absolutely national hero. And coming off of his World Games performance, it just really raised his profile in Czech Republic.
He's going to be very close on that one as well. Coach doesn't look happy, and it's 3 red lights, not deep enough, but he has one on the board. Julian Johansson from Iceland, 410 kilograms, and this guy here is just casually rolling through, doing his job.
Yeah, to understand how big this sport is in certain countries for a lot of these athletes is when David Lupas did very well in the World Games. When we got to Pilsen last year, there was a giant poster on the side covering one whole side of a building of him.
Wow, they really do take this sport seriously.
In Norway, we had they had some of their champions on the sides of the buses.
So
and the bus stops.
We say giant poster, but it was just life size, really.
Yes, exactly, just life size.
Oh, he's working it through. He gets to the top. The depth looks good, and he gets 2-1. It's on the board with 410, and we said do your job, and you might just roll through, and he's done his job. Right now, Joseph Capolino, who is in a world of trouble at 435. Hasn't registered a squat yet. 435 goes on the board. Big Mike in his corner.
435 kgs, 959 pounds.
435 kilograms. Missed once, missed twice. All he's got to do is just sink it down a little bit further, get some good acceleration out of the bottom, and you'll put this one on the board.
Yeah, Joe is 30 years old. I've known him since he was 20. Known him well since he was 20. I'm on the edge of my seat right here for him.
Depth looks a lot better. He's having to work, but he gets to the top. That should be a good lift.
Look good.
Not deep enough, but the U.S. coach is getting straight to the jury on that one.
I'm watching
we'll have a look at the replay.
Watch the replay. Stare down the knee, across the thigh, into the hip.
Oh, look, it's very, very
Yeah,
borderline.
that is so borderline. Oh.
I don't know if he's going to have any luck with the jury on that one.
No, and the rule says the jury should not vote to overturn unless it is an egregious error. Even though I may not agree with it, it's not a great wait. But the jury is giving him the lift.
Taking the replay, they're overturning, so he'll get the 435 on the board.
There we go.
So he saved his skin by the jury. Right now, though, Vladimir Bitsunov from the Ukraine, 4.475 on the bar.
So, in most championships, we have a 3-man jury. Must be unanimous, 3-0 to overturn. 5-man jury, you need the same 3 votes. So 3-2 will do it, and I guess it did it there for Joe.
You have some days where you just win them.
You know, it happens. We've had a few.
447.5.
Just look at the size of him. The spotter's barely come up to his shoulder.
Weight was easy, but I don't think he was down enough.
That
Let's wait
easy.
and see. And he was, though. 3 white lights. A quick squat is a good squat. Don't give him time to look around. Oh, yeah, he dropped in.
He got that. And that's why it's tough to referee these size lifters. Their thighs are so big, but the top of the thigh at the hip is so narrow. It makes it very, very, very hard to do. And here he comes.
Andrei Konovalov from Russia, 4.75. He missed this on his second. He really needs to put this on the board and keep putting pressure on Blaine Sumner.
Both he and Blaine Sumner missed 4.75.
4.75. He just needs to sink it in.
If he makes this, he is 10 kilos ahead of Sumner in squat, but Sumner has a chance to respond. He's taking the 4.75 right following Konovalov.
Let's see if he looks a bit more comfortable this time. He looks a bit more relaxed under that bar this time. He stands it up. Was it enough?
Let's see.
It is. There's 3 white lights for 4.75 on the board, and the pressure is on Blaine Sumner to respond.
Huge pressure on Blaine Sumner.
Everyone stand back. He just ran off the platform.
No kidding.
You do not want to stand in front of a super heavyweight running off the platform.
I thought that was the tube in London going by. It felt so rough.
Blaine Sumner now, 4.75. Has to respond to this one.
If it's a good lift, he's going to pick out the silver medal.
So right now, Konovalov is in the gold medal position for the squat.
So Blaine came in here to win gold. Konovalov took it from him. Right now, Blaine's just trying to hit this 4.75 to keep pace with him in the total. Blaine's got a big...
Oh, it's a little off balance, but he gets it back there.
Let's see how the depth is. It looked easy.
And not getting down low enough, 3-1.
You know, and again, so we talk about it's not where you start, it's where you end.
You've got to keep adding to that total. If you come in and just hit your openers and you're only getting your nominated total, you're not giving yourself the chance. And we don't get us wrong. People have won gold medals on 3 lifts, absolutely. But when you're up against this sort of competition, you need to be putting them on the board.
Yeah, no kidding. So Konovalov opened at 4.45. Blaine Sumner opened at 20 kilos heavier, 4.65. They both smoked him. However, that's all that Blaine Sumner walked away with. Konovalov went 4.45, went to 4.75, missed it, but he made 4.75, so he started 20 kilos under Blaine Sumner and finished 10 kilos ahead.
Well, don't go too far away. In 20 minutes, we're going to be back here and watch these big boys battle it out on the bench press. 20 minutes, grab your drinks, grab your snacks, and strap yourself in for a ride. Welcome back to Halmstad, Sweden, the IPF World Open Powerlifting Championships here in 2018, and we're moving into the bench press with the big heavyweights, and it doesn't happen very often, but every single lifter is on the board.
Yeah, this makes for a lot of action going in here because oftentimes we've lost one or even two of the top competitors by this time of the meet. So it's good. Let's see if it hopes going through the bench press. We want to see everybody go through to pull for the deadlift. We got a lot of things going on here. It's been a great meet so far. We have already had 54 world records set this week. That's 54 world records.
It just blows your mind every time we come to these events. World records just drop, but this year, for some reason, it's just been that extra bit. The guys and the girls are pushing that little bit further. 54 world records in one meet.
I think part of that is, one, you have some lifters at the top, like a Sergey Fedosenko, a Yarek Olesh, who are just so dominant they can pop off world records almost any time they want at will. The other classes, you're seeing a lot of young lifters come up in a lot of depth. It's forcing everybody to push their numbers, and so the numbers are going above world record territory. So that's why they're not sitting here hunting world records. They are coming within the flow of the meet.
Yeah, look, and we said the other day we saw a junior lifter come through, just won the World Junior Championships, and now is a World Open Junior Champion, a World Open champion as well. I mean, it just shows the depth and the quality of the lifters that are coming through the junior programs, and that's the junior programs are just building stronger and stronger, and more nations are putting so much more into their junior development as lifters and developing these really strong teams for the Opens. And right now we are underway with the bench press. 190 kilograms goes on the bar for Jari from Finland.
I mean, I can't believe we're talking about a 190 opener here. Is the lightest opener, and it jumps up really fast after this. We go to Garrett Bentley and then some big numbers, ending in the heavy. Blaine Sumner's opening at 415 kilos. That's 5 kilos or 11 pounds over his existing 410 kilo record.
Well, he makes short work of 190.
And it looked easy.
Yes, that's a good lift.
And it's 2-1. It's on the board.
Record for Garrett Bentley.
Garrett Bentley from Canada, 212.5.
8 pounds. Followed in 1 minute, Bentley, Canada. Connolly, next lifter.
Just giving the spotter some instruction there where he wants it. 212.5 kilograms.
I thought we saw a lot of world records last year in Pilsen. This is absolutely off the charts this year. And nothing's changed in the equipment. It's just better lifting. Look at that.
That was a really, really nice 212. Yeah, and you're right. There haven't been huge changes in the equipment. Yeah, there's certainly little things that the companies are doing to try and make them better. But it really has come down to training and nutrition, and so much more is going into how they train now. I was talking to someone a little while the other day, and we were talking about how 20 years ago we didn't see all these big advancements because training was just linear progression. We got in, we lifted weights, we trained. Now there is so much science going into it. Right now, Jamie Connolly, the man from down under, 240 kilograms on the bar.
And the newest recovery method that I saw today here they have is the pressure suit, the lower body pressure suit. It starts in your feet and your calves, gets tight, then moves up a little bit more to the beginning of your thigh, then all the way up. Forces all the blood out of your feet. Athletes are also, oh wow, look at that.
Gets plenty of speed off the chest, but just couldn't lock that right arm.
So that pressure suit, athletes, when you fly, it's really, really tough. you tend to really get dehydrated flying. People don't understand how bad that happens. You get a lot of the blood and fluids pool in the bottom of your legs. So the athletes are coming here, they're getting off their flight, they're getting into the hotel a couple of days early. They're using these suits to push that blood back out of their legs. But right now, Aita from Japan up 240. You know, that kind of goes back to, Gary, what you're talking about recovery methods, the nutrition.
Yeah, there's just so much more going into training at this level now. You know, powerlifting has really kept up with a lot of the elite sports, but they've also set the benchmark in among the elite sports as well for training and recovery.
Head is up. Let's see if it gets caught.
So he handles the weight with no problem, and the head referee has picked up the head. And he's going to have to be careful because now the head referee's picked that up. The side referee is going to be looking for that on his neck lift as well. Chi
you
Fong,
can see
Hong
it come up
Kong,
right there.
257.5 now.
567 pounds, 257.5 kg.
I mean, we're already at 257.5, and we're only 5 attempts in, just about the halfway point.
257.5. Getting a good handle on that. Oh, he's a little bit off balance on the way down. And you can see that's affected him at the top as well.
Yeah,
that lockout
that
and that
tough.
left arm.
That was tough right there.
The referees say it's a no lift. Got a little bit out of shape at the bottom there. You can see he's leant to one side, and all of a sudden he's got to lift unevenly. And he really, the bar never really came to a good stop. But right now, Lupus from Romania, 287.5. These are good numbers for a squat.
Yeah, they really are.
And it's on the bench. And Lupus just waiting, and you see the referee just discussing some technical issues with the bench there and where the spotters need to stand so the referee can actually see the action that she needs to see. So right now, 287.5.
Reload the clock. 1 minute session.
All right, trying to get his shoulders as far under as he can. Not easy to do when you're a super heavyweight. Really having to get that bar through the shirt, but he gets it up very fast.
Yes, that's
3 white lights, it's on the board. Julian Johansson from Iceland, 300 kilograms.
And Lupas is doing a lot better than he's done at the last 2 Europeans. He hasn't recorded a total since 2016.
Well, he's certainly on the right track with his squats now.
Yep.
And it is a really good thing to see, to come here commentating and watching this, to go into the bench press with all of the lifters on the board.
Certainly helps, makes us feel a lot better, makes our job easier because we have something to talk about too. JK needs to make, if he needs to go 3 for 3 to have a real shot. I know he wants to, it's going to be within a hair's breadth of taking the world record in the deadlift away from Brad Gillingham, but right now he's got to get benches.
Gets it to the top. What do the referees say?
Yes.
2 white lights, it's on the board. The chief referee picked up maybe his head, lifted up a little bit.
739 pounds.
Hard to see on this angle. But the chief referee has picked up something, but that's okay. He's on the board. Joseph Capolino now 335, who was saved by the skin of his teeth.
No doubt.
By the jury on that one on his last squat. But it's on the board. He worked towards the total now, but he's got to get this one on first.
Now, interestingly, Joey Capolino had 315 in. He made a change to 335. So he's opening 20 kilos heavier to try to make up a little bit on the deadlift. I'm sorry, make up a little bit on what he lost on the squat. He only hit his opener, but he took him 3 attempts to hit it.
3 attempts and a lot of energy.
So let's see here on the bench press.
Having to really pull through that suit. He's really struggling to find the chest. And there it is. Gets it back to the top. That took a lot of energy out of him, though.
There you go.
He gets the 2 white lights on the board.
Beautiful. Game on, because you watch, he's going to go up. That'll come down a lot quicker. Right now, Konovalov is up 350.
350 goes on the bar for Andrei Konovalov from Russia.
David Lupash also is not here because he has Classic Europeans in 3 weeks, which he wants to win. So.
Yeah, look, a lot of these guys are now, and you're seeing a lot of these guys competing at World Champion events in Classic and Equipped, which is absolutely fantastic. But, geez, it makes their schedule tough.
It does get a little tough. I mean, even for me working events, it's tough going from, I mean, just 2 weeks ago, we had a week-long Classic in USA, and I got to come here. I would like to have gone to Masters Worlds in Mongolia. There's only so much of this you can go to. Hell, I'd love to go to Classic Europeans too, but I just can't find the time to do it all.
Really having to pull that down and find his way. But he finds it.
There you go.
And he drives it off the chest. And it's 2 white lights.
And that was, so Martin Flett checked in from his little farm up in the Scottish Highlands. How you doing there, Martin? And he told us about Lupash. That was good on him.
And now Vladimir Vichinov from the Ukraine, 355.
Is Fong getting a relift? Is that what's happening there?
Yeah, I think he may actually be getting a relift there. I'm not sure why. We might see if we can try and find out.
So we're going to go Vladimir here, then Blaine Sumner, and then we'll come back and finish up the round with Fong. The problem for Fong is
they'll put 4 minutes on the clock.
Well, he's not even following himself. So
he's not following himself, so he won't get the extra time.
He's going to get no extra. I mean, he'll get a few minutes rest between other lifters, but right now, Vistinov, 355.
Oh, he's struggling on that right-hand side and just can't lock it out.
No.
Just couldn't lock it. He just didn't look clean all the way through that. So right now, Blaine Sumner for a opening lift of a world record at 415, adding 5 kilos to his previous world record of 410, 415 kilogram bench press.
That is crazy. The other thing that's crazy here, Vistinov missing that 355, and it didn't look close either.
He really struggled to get clean. He just wasn't comfortable with it the whole way down.
Allows a silver or a gold by Konovalov for the Russians to take the gold medal, team gold medal away from Ukraine.
We talk so much about doing your job and getting those openers on the board, the numbers on the board. But right now, Blaine Sumner, 415 kilograms for a world record. This is an enormous bench press.
I don't think I've ever seen a larger opener.
415 kilograms.
I mean, this is a squat opener right here, 415.
And a good one.
Now, I'd take this on a 5th attempt squat.
I might wait for my 10th. Oh, he's had to fight the shirt.
See what the referees say.
And it's a good lift.
World record,
Blaine
Sumner.
415 kilograms. That is enormous.
That's crazy.
Now, I'm not entirely sure why we have a relift for Fong, but we are going to try and find out.
This is his first attempt, because the jury gave him a new attempt. Followed it 1 minute, Fong, Hong Kong.
All right, here comes Fong Chai-shi from Hong Kong.
Martikainen, you are the first gift in the second round.
There's Dr. Ip Wing Wu, Chinese Taipei, also an IPF executive.
Well, I just got the word from two-time Hall of Famer Ralph Parkinson, who was on the commentary box earlier on this week. So he hadn't actually finished pushing before the rack command was given, so they've given him a relift.
Yeah, and that's the way it goes. The jury's usually pretty good about that. They probably, even without a protest, gave him a relift, and that's the way it's supposed to be.
Jari from Finland, 220, opened at 190 and looked absolutely fantastic at 190.
Yeah, and getting that 190 kilo in, I mean, that was really easy for him. But he cannot take that world record in the squat. Right now it's 397.5 from IPF Hall of Famer Brad Gillingham. If he's going to take that record, he had to get that 190 bench in, or the world record in the deadlift would be nothing. He could get a medal, but the world record wouldn't stand. Right now, Jari Martikainen, 220.
Oh, just didn't.
Sorry, Jari.
Just couldn't really push it all the way to the top there, and throws it back into the rack. He got good speed off the chest, but just lost his line. You can see his wrist start to turn back and his elbow start to go. The shoot just sort of took over there.
Yeah, and he had a plan coming in here. He planned to open 190. That was his original. And then he took that big jump. I think he wanted to get that 190 in just to make sure, so he could comfortably take that deadlift world record attempt.
Yeah, look, and that's a smart move. He comes in, hits the 190, knows he can do it any day of the week, even on a bad day, and he did. And now he's in a position where he can put a few things, try and put a few on the board. He knows he's not in a position to go after the World Championship gold medal, so he's come here with a different goal.
No, I mean, he's off the pace here.
Garrett Bentley from Canada, 230 kilograms.
But, I mean, he can etch his name in the record book. Blaine Sumner has put in a massive 425. 10 kilos over the world record.
25 kilograms.
I mean, that may work better for him. That shirt looked awfully tight, so we'll see what happens. Right there. Wow.
Handles that. And that was a great shot from Viva TV there. You can actually see the side referee getting right down to really have a look to make sure the feet don't move, to make sure the butt's not moving off the bench.
You saw Stian Guillermo and Christopher Eichlin from the Norwegian team there.
Right now, Jamie Connolly, the big man from down under, needs to put this one on the board.
And I use Stian Guillermo designs phone apps, and I use his app. That's what I use to figure out my Wilks who's going to win by formula. So.
Now, this is the first time Australia has been at the Equipped Powerlifting World Championships since, I think, probably 2011, maybe.
I honestly can't remember the last time I saw one, an Aussie.
Oh, that shirt looks a lot tighter on this one. And he got much better speed off the chest on that. Let's see what the referees say. 2-1, it's on the board. Some good coaching there from Sean Muir.
The last Aussie I remember here, I didn't go to 2011. The last Aussie I remember was Peter Koitka. Was here, he used to come all the time, great guy.
Well, they are back at the World Championships.
And we're happy to be here, because it was always funny to me that, there were so few Aussies around. We love having them around.
Oh, look, they're good fun.
They're good folk. They're good fun. Look, why would you want to travel when you live on a continent where everything, insect, bird, snake, is trying to kill you?
Everything. Ito from Japan, 252.5.
Nice push.
252.5 made that look easy, and
There you go.
They haven't even really tightened that shirt right up yet. You can see how easily he's managing to pull that down to his chest.
Yeah, you can see his butt come up there a little bit. Veronica Kondrashov from Germany called that.
Yep, gets the one light there.
Yeah, and you can definitely see that light coming through there, so that's what she's calling.
Chai Chi Fong, Hong Kong, 267.5. Really digging himself into that bench there.
Yeah, and he's having a great day for himself already. He came in with a personal best of 250 at the Asian Championships.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough lift, though. He hasn't had a whole lot of rest since he took that relift.
No, not at all. He only had about 3 minutes.
It hasn't bothered him at all.
Easy.
Yes.
3 white lights. That rest did not affect him at all.
Not one bit.
Lupus from Romania, 300 kilograms.
Followed in 1 minute, Lucas, Romania. Johansson, next lifter.
Got a good 287.5 to open with. Let's see how he manages 300.
And I'm watching all the third attempts come in. They're very well chosen. Well,
yeah, look, no one's really doing anything too crazy.
Well, there's one, Connolly from Australia, went from 240 to 275.
Yeah, look, I imagine 275 was his planned third attempt. Probably looking to go 240, 255, 260, then maybe 275. But, you know, having missed that opening lift, having to take the second again, looks like they're going to straight to the third.
I mean, if there's any lift you can do it in, it's the bench because the shirt.
There's so much more you can do with it.
And they know their gear, they know their shirt. Me personally, as a coach or an athlete, I wouldn't do that for myself, but I've seen it happen. People do it.
Julian Johansson from Iceland, 310 kilograms.
I mean, this kid, and I say kid, he's 25 years old, is looking to steal the bronze medal. Savistinov is helping him out here a little bit.
And he is just doing his job step by step. He muscles it at the top. He really sort of mistimed the press a bit there.
A little bit.
And he gets the 3 red lights.
Wow, that is rough. He needed those kilos there. Look, Savistinov's in real bad shape here. That 355 was a really, really bad miss. Johansson can win this bronze medal one of two ways. One, he just wins it outright by making all of his benches and then putting up a big deadlift. Well, that kind of went by the wayside because he missed his second attempt at 310, but Savistinov is trying to help him here. That'll be coming up right here after Joey Capolino, who needs this. He would like to move in the bronze medal position.
So 347.5 on the bar for Joseph Capolino. We'll see what sort of energy he's got left. He's had to use a lot of energy in the squats.
Good.
Really having to drag it through that shirt, trying to find the touch. There it is.
Up.
I think that bar dipped a
Yeah,
little
look,
bit.
we'll wait and see what the referees say, but I think it might have dipped, and it did. We've got 3 red lights.
I think at least one of them is for the head. Chief referee's for the head. May have had side, got butt or head.
And look, the bar was all over the shop. Volodymyr Svistinov from the Ukraine, 355. Missed this on his opener.
I mean, the pressure is on him. He wants to come in here and win silver medal. But the other thing is, if he records a total at all, pretty much the Ukraine defeats Russia for the team title. If he does not record a title, Konovalov gets through and has a total, Russia wins. Konovalov's cruising right now.
So he has to put this one up.
This is
and
more,
it looked really tough on his opener.
Did not, and it's not like he just misgrooved it. It looked like it was just brutally hard coming off his chest.
Well,
much better. There you go.
That didn't look anything like his opening lift. And it goes on the board with 3 white lights.
That pretty much solidifies the team gold for Ukraine.
So now Andrei Konovalov from Russia, 365.
I mean, so we already have the USA winning gold medal on the women's side, and looks like Ukraine, again, unless something happens to Savistov on the deadlift, that Ukraine's going to win this title.
Well, here we go with 365 on the bar. He made short work of 350. Great speed off the chest. That was super fast off the chest there. And it's on the board at 365. And right now, another world record bench with an absolutely massive 425 kilograms.
And no one in the world is close to Blaine Sumner right now in the bench press. Nobody.
This is massive. $425 kilograms, 937 pounds on a bench press. This is an impressive squat number, let alone on a bench.
This bench press, if he makes it, will exceed the squat of 7 of the 11 lifters in this session.
Can he lock? Let's see what the referees say. 2 red lights,
Yep.
no lift. Look,
he
looked like he even jumped the start a little bit.
And that's what I think it is. The yellow, I think, is for jumping the start. I think the blue is for the right elbow not being locked out.
And I think his butt came off the
And
bench
his
there
butt
as
came
well.
off.
Yeah.
That was a good call right there by the referees.
I think you might see him hit that on his third, though.
I think so. He'll keep it down. It'll be fine. And I think Blaine came in wanting to hit that twice, having 2 shots at that.
Jari from Finland, 220 kilograms. Had a great opener at 190. Just didn't really time the 220 very well. And he's been asked to re-rack the bar. Something's not right. Not quite sure what it was. We couldn't really hear or see properly what the problem was, but they've told him what the problem is. And he gets the start command. That looked so much better.
Yes, it did. Adjusting that shirt really worked there for Martigani.
And there it is, 2-1. It's on the board at 220. Garrett Bentley from Canada, 247.5.
546 pounds.
This is kind of playing out the way we figured it would. I like that. Again, seen a lot of green. We got some misses, but not horrible yet.
Yeah, every lifter in this flight has registered a bench now.
And no one's in danger.
Everyone's going to go through the deadlifts. It's not every day in the super heavyweights you see everyone go all the way through the deadlifts.
No, not at all. Usually lose at least one person in the squat, at least one person in the bench press.
247.5. There it is, gets the touch. Gets the speed, and there it puts that one up, and it looked better than his second. 247.5 goes on the board with 3 white lights.
I mean, these choices here are just absolutely perfect by almost all the lifters. They're making their attempt. The coach are putting in good attempts. The lifters are executing. It makes for excitement. I mean, it is exciting when some guys don't get through, when there's some big attempts that don't
look,
go.
It certainly makes
some
it more
tension.
exciting and opens up the doors, but, you know, we're powerlifters. We want to see everyone getting through.
100%. I am never happy when someone does not score a total.
And the great thing about this sport is that everyone wants to see everyone go through. All the lifters want to see each other go through. All the crowd, referees, everyone wants to see the lifts go through.
No doubt. Watch when Blaine Sumner comes out, everyone will be cheering. It's not just USA. Every nation will be cheering because everybody wants to see a big lift.
Well, 257.5 on the bar for Ito from Japan.
Heads up.
He gets it quick. It's a fast lift, but he's going to get picked up on that head again, and he does, but he gets 2 white lights.
275 kgs on the bar record for.
And he gets a blue card from the ref on the far side.
I don't know what the blue was for, but, you know, that was 2-1's fine on that.
Well, Jamie Connolly now with a personal best of a massive 275 kilograms. Opened at 240, missed it, absolutely smashed it on the second.
Wow.
A big Jamie Connolly from down under, all the way from Strength Nation.
Wow.
Just getting into a little bit of trouble there, just a little bit too much of a jump for him. But he gets the 240 on the board.
So again, taking that big a jump, I honestly don't.
That was a huge jump.
I don't ever remember seeing a 35-kilo jump on the bench.
That's a huge jump in a bench press.
But we haven't seen Jamie before, so I don't really know what he can do.
Yeah, look, and one of his goals might have been, I want to come to this. I know I'm not going to win, but I want to come, and my aim is to hit 275. So he took his opportunity, had one on the board. Chai Chi Fong, Hong Kong, 2775. Love that emotion that goes into his lift, every one of them. He was all over the shop at the top there. Didn't think he was going to get the white lights. His coach turned around. His coach turned around to look at the board, you know, hoping maybe there was a miracle there, but even she knew there wasn't going to be a white light on that one. Shows him on the big screen on the way past, this is what you did. So Lupus now from Romania, 310 on the bar. I think it's one of the great things is once you've got everyone registered with the bench, the guys get to have a go. It's something they want to have a go at on their third lift now, without risking anything.
Most definitely.
310 kilograms. And this should be a personal best for him. Gets good speed off the chest.
Very good
and he
speed.
gets it on the board with 3 white lights. Julian Johansson from Iceland, 310 kilograms.
1 minute. Come on, Julian. Capellino, next lifter.
Three, 1, 0.
So he's already going to have an opportunity. JK is going to have an opportunity on the deadlift world record of Brad Gillingham at 397.5. He needs this bench to try and move up and catch Joe Capellino.
Look out.
Well, let's see what the referees say. Is it enough?
No,
it's not.
Nope.
3 reds. Now Joseph Capellino from the US of A at 347.5.
If Joe is going to get bronze, he needs to make this lift.
He's going to have to put this on the board.
USA. He's doing off next lift.
He needs this lift, and then he needs Savistinov to miss his third at 367.5. But the first thing you got to do is get your own work done. Can't depend on somebody else to do your work for you.
Yeah, he's got to put this one up. I mean, his 335 looked really good. The 347.5, yeah, it was just all over the place.
It's just so hard getting that bar down to the chest with these shirts on.
And as you can see there, it's really hard to pull that down. Finds the spot. That looked better.
That could get him bronze.
There we go.
Better.
There it is. 3 white lights. It's on the board at 347.5 with 3 lifts to go.
So Joe Capellino, USA, just did his work there with the 347.5, put tremendous pressure on Vladimir Savistinov to make this if he wants to win.
Savistinov from the Ukraine, 367.5 for a personal best. And this will temporarily move him into the silver medal position for the bench press. So his biggest lift, 362.5, and that was this year at the European Powerlifting Championships. So trying to add a couple of kilos to that. Gets good speed. That should be good from this angle.
That's probably the bronze medal right there.
It is 367.5, so he will temporarily slide into the silver for the bench press. Right now, Konovalov from Russia, 377.5. This will get him back into the silver medal position for the bench press.
You know, we can have 2 guys go over 1,200 here.
We most certainly are. If Konovalov puts this one on the board.
He puts this up and makes 2 deadlifts. He's got it.
He's really working this through. Pulling it down, finds the touch. Speed off the chest is good.
That looks solid
From
right
this
there.
angle, it looks good. He's confident. The referees say, yes, you can have that one. It's on the board, and he'll take the silver medal in the bench press. And right now, Blaine Sumner, world record 425 kilograms.
Unbelievable.
This is ridiculous. 425 kilograms on a bench press.
The crowd is just going wild here.
I can't even fathom holding on to that. And as Chrissy Champion Chamley likes to say, if he gets this, he'll be stoked.
Come on, look out.
Oh, that looks a lot more convincing than his
kidding
first
me?
one.
Are you
I
kidding
think
me?
he might get this, and he
Oh,
does.
my
425 kilograms for a world bench press record. That is absolutely enormous. Well, that is the end of the bench press, and it's just going to get hotter and hotter in here, because in 20 minutes time we've got lifts, and we're looking at 2 of these lifters at least cracking the 1200 total mark, which is absolutely phenomenal. And we've got a nice little battle there for that 3rd position. Who is going to take home that bronze medal? We'll have to wait and see. Don't go far away. In 20 minutes we'll be hitting the deadlift platform.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, may I kindly ask you for your attention before we start now with the grand final, and you see on the scoreboard, it couldn't be better than today. Really great final what we're gonna see there. I have a very small presentation. It's our road to Birmingham. That means the way now to the next World Games, which takes part in Birmingham, Alabama, USA 2021. And of course, we from the IPF will do our best to have our sportsmen in the spotlight and to promote the event in the very best way from now on to the way 2021 July. So an idea from us was to have, or to find some ambassadors, and for this first ambassador announcement, I think we couldn't find a better one. That's the lady on my side, and I kindly ask now on the platform, Larisa Seloviova. Give her a big hand. She's our first ambassador on the road to Birmingham. Larissa is a multiple world champion, and I have to tell you, she's the only sportsman in the history of the World Games of all sports who won 4 times on road the gold medal. So congratulations again, Larissa. A truly great ambassador for our sport. And what I'm asking you is just to support us. When you see some video clips or whatever on our Facebook page or on all other social medias, like it, share it, whatever. So you will find our regularly informations video clips. And during the next 1-2 years, we will have more ambassadors. We will announce them from time to time, and just follow the IPF, powerlifting.sport, or our Facebook page or Twitter or Instagram account. So again, Larissa, our first ambassador, and I'm asking now the president from the IPF as well as our 2 main partners, Uplift, Mr. Nassif George-Arabi, and Eleiko, Mr. Eric Blomberg, to come up for the first photo shoot, which we will share on the road to Birmingham 2021. Thank you.
Every single road to Birmingham. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And of course, Larissa promised me she will run for the 5th gold medal in Birmingham. So probably in 4 years we can call her a 5 times World Games champion. Thank you, Larissa.
Welcome back to Hampstead, Sweden, the IPF World Open Powerlifting Champions 2018. And we are in to the final session of what has been an absolutely incredible week of lifting. And I don't say that lightly. 55 world records so far have fallen, and the day is not over today. We have got the 120 plus, the super heavyweights, coming out in 1 minute and 20 seconds to tear this weight off the floor. Now I'm going to give you a quick update. Sumner's world record at 425. As we went to the break, there was a lot of kerfuffle from the jury. There was referees walking around, and his world record at 425 has been overturned by the jury as his head lifted off the bench. And what that says is that when you break a record in the IPF, or you're looking up records in the IPF, there is no mucking around. You know it's been done right. So we went to the break, and all of a sudden, referees discussing, jury discussing, and they overturned it. So he get the 415 as a world record, but the 425 does not stand.
Yeah, and I mean, that was a good call too, Gary. We saw it here with his head up as he was bringing the bar down to get about that last 3 or 4 centimeters. He pulled his head up to get that down. You could see it clearly come up.
Yeah, look, and it was a great call from the referees. Chief referee from Australia picked that one up, and after it went to the jury, and it got overturned, and it was a good call. We want to make sure that the world records that you set at a world event in IPF are real world records.
And that may determine the gold medal in this too. That's another reason the Russians protested it. Was within the rules. They made their protest. They filled out their form. They did what they needed to do. It got overturned because Blaine Sumner now is in first place. Wow, looked like a little bobble there.
And Chai Chi Fong from Hong Kong, 175. He just looked like something wasn't right. He's holding his ribs there. And you can see he's looks like he may
you can see it right there. I think
the way he's holding his rib there looks like he's got a bit of rib cartilage injury. And I've seen that happen a few times, particularly in squats. They get their belt into the bad position, digs into the rib, and you get a bit of a rib cartilage injury, and it's quite a painful injury.
I mean, they've done a great job. They have chiros and massage therapists here back in the warm-up area to take care of it. I had a rib head out in T4, and he just set that thing back in immediately. Felt great. I could barely move before it. So Garrett Bentley's up now, 270. I mean, you know, even the announcers have to play injured.
270 kilograms on the bar for Garrett Bentley.
My God, the crowd, the hush here is just crazy.
No problems there. That should be 3 whites, and it is.
You know, that was one of those silences that made you think you went deaf for a moment.
606 pounds.
All right, up now, Ito Aita from Japan, 275 kilos.
Followed in 1 minute, Ito.
And the numbers just keep getting bigger and bigger.
Last year in Pilsen, he hit a 295, opening here with 275. If I remember his pulls from last year, that should be well within his capability.
And the silence falls over.
This place is ready to explode. When we get up to the Sumners, Konovalos, Vistanovs, and see Johansson try to make that run at a new world deadlift record, I think this place will just explode. The silence is deafening,
and that
as they're setting up.
Is exactly what he came for. Lupus from Romania handles 280 and gets the 3 white lights on the board.
300 kgs on the bar, Jamie Connolly, Australia.
Jamie Connolly from down under, 300 kilograms on the bar.
Bar loaded 1 minute, Connolly, Australia.
And Australia is back
Next lifter.
at the World Open Powerlifting Championships. Well under his personal best. Look, he made that look easy.
And there we go.
That was a good lift. 320 kgs on the bar, 705 pounds. Volodymyr Svistунov, Ukraine.
Volodymyr Svistунov from the Ukraine, 320 kilograms going on the bar.
Svistунov, Ukraine. Sumner, next lifter.
Only one missed lift so far. It'll be very interesting to see how Fong goes when he comes out for a second. That injury looked quite painful. Straight to the top.
Looks very easy on the referees are saying that's.
And he's being coached by Alexander Rubits there. You see our
Sure
2018 105 kilo world champion.
And junior world champion.
He got a junior world record bench press, and I believe, did he exceed the total? And world junior record total of 1080 kilos.
325 kgs.
And he's still a junior, folks.
Now here comes Blaine Sumner for 325.
I mean, Blaine's going to have to go 3 for 3 here. They're in a battle right now. Sumner, Konovalov in a huge battle.
Certainly didn't look as easy as I would have liked an opening lift to look.
No, and you know, that's generally the form that he displays.
Joseph Capolino, 330.
Bar loaded 1 minute, Capolino, USA, 727 pounds. Martikainen, next lifter.
The big Joseph Capolino, who's had a bit of an up and down day so far.
Isn't that the truth? Is that a bench press joke?
I think that was just generally a weight joke. And puts that one on the board.
There you go.
Side referee, pull the button. Yes, that's a good lift.
There you go.
On the bar. Lifter,
Making it look easy.
All right, so Jari Martikainen, he wants that deadlift world record of 397.5. He's coming out here opening at 350. If he makes this, 340, he misses this, he'll probably go to something like 370, but we'll see. Watch him pull the big Viking, Jari Martikainen from Finland.
This is what he came for. Ooh, just struggling to lock out at the top there.
Wow, that cost him big right there.
Sorry, Jari.
I mean, this was he is a deadlifter, and this is what he came for. That's going to throw him a little bit. He doesn't seem too unhappy about it.
No, I think he said he was just a little bit off balance.
Now, Julian Johansson, 360 kilograms from Iceland.
This is the man, Johansson. May bump somebody off to get a bronze medal. Let's see what he starts with. He's got to hit this 360, obviously, to have any chance.
So 360 goes on the bar. And you'll see if you're watching at home, so we talk about sumo, we talk about conventional. These guys, the big heavyweights, tend to be, their conventional lifters tend to have a little bit of a modified conventional lift, a little bit wider in their foot stance.
The super heavyweights in both the women and the men, so the 84 plus and the 120 plus in the men, both have very different looking deadlift styles from the lighter body weights.
Yeah, and we talk about getting the style and the technique that works for you. And, you know, as a super heavyweight, that's what these guys have got to do. But right now, Andrei Konovalov from Russia, 362.5 kilograms.
This will move him in front of Blaine Sumner by 10 kilos. That's why that bench press was so important.
Very smooth all the way through.
So he's now in first place.
Well, Blaine Sumner's not going to have it all his own way today. Chai Chi Fong, 175.
Right now, the way we have it as it stands, we have Konovalov at 12.15, Sumner at 12.05, Savistinov at 11.35, and Joey Capolino at 1:11.12.5. That is very, very tight. Julian J.K. Johansson has an outside chance here in fifth place at 10.70, but he needs a monster pull. And Julian J.K. Johansson has put in 398 off of that 360. So
that is a big one right there.
Yeah, so J.K. wants that world record. So 398 is the world record. The existing is 397.5. I made a mistake before and said about it was Marta Kanan. It is not Julian J.K. Johansson. So
right now, Chai Chi Fong, Hong Kong, 175. We know, I mean, he can deadlift a lot more than this. He's just trying to put a total on the board right now. He's injured himself. And that should be a good lift.
Yes,
and
there we go.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him not come out for his third.
634 pounds.
He's managed to get himself a total. That was what that lift was for. Garrett Bentley now, 287.5.
Followed in 1 minute, Bentley, Canada. E2, next lifter.
287.5. And just putting the clip on that big SBD belt. And silence falls across the stadium.
It's that deafening silence.
Oh, just having a bit of trouble to lock the top there. Just couldn't squeeze through.
Sorry.
That'll be a no lift. He pulled it up so quick, but just couldn't squeeze through at the top. Ita from Japan, 295 kilograms.
Followed in 1 minute, E2, Japan. Lucas, next lifter.
Here he comes for 295. That is a massive pull from Johansson, 398. Squeezes
there
it
we
top,
go.
Locks it off, and that should be a good lift, and it is.
It's a good lift. 300 kgs on the bar. Lifter.
300 kilos goes on the bar now for Lupus from Romania.
Followed in 1 minute. Lupus. Connolly, next lifter.
I mean, this is a international PB for him. He just did 290 in Pilsen European Championships in May.
And now hitting 300 here. and just couldn't quite get it there.
No lift.
Have a look at the replay on this one.
25 kgs on the bar. Jamie Connolly, Australia.
Jamie Connolly, the big man from down under, looking for 325.
Followed in 1 minute. Connolly, Australia.
And this should be well within striking range for him. That roll-in technique there. Gets to the top. That should be a good lift. Let's have a look. Yeah,
it is
2 to 1. It's a good lift.
2 to 1. There we go.
And that rolling technique can be very useful if you get the timing right. But it takes a lot to get the timing right. Volodymyr Svitsinov from the Ukraine now, 335. This will give him a 1,150 total.
Five athletes, lifters, are already over 1,000, and we're going to have all 5 over 1,100 after Johansson's world record attempt.
That is huge. This has probably been the greenest I've ever seen a super heavyweight board. Ooh,
looks a little
soft on that right knee
looks
there.
Soft.
And the referees
there we go.
agree.
He knew.
2 reds. Yari from Finland, 340. Struggled with the 340 to open.
See on that, what he did is he locked his knees and then unlocked them so it was really visible to the referees. If he had just come up into that resting position, they probably would have let the soft knees go. But when they're locked, you complete your pull and then you kind of soften them. That's when you're going to get called on that in that situation.
Now Yari got himself into all sorts of trouble with his opening lift. And let's see if he can rectify that. 340 shouldn't be that big a reach for him.
I mean, the last really big pull he had, Martikanian had, was a 360 in Open Powerlifting Championships in Orlando. Looks like he should be good here.
That certainly looked a lot better. Let's wait and see. And he gets 2 whites. It's on the board. Joseph Capolino now, 342 and a half.
Now remember, Savistinov missed his second at 335. If Joe Capolino makes this, he is within 10 kilos of Savistinov.
Puts him right within striking distance.
So this is a huge lift for Joe. He wants to get bronze here.
If he gets this one on the board, he puts himself in a very good position for that last lift.
I mean, that 330 looks so easy. I would figure this 342 and a half. It's going to go the same way.
Just couldn't lock and hang on to it.
That's rough right there.
342 and a half. It would have put him in a great position. It might end up costing him in the end. Blaine Sumner now from the US of A, 345.
If he makes this, this will put him at 12.25, and then Kanavalov must make the 375 to stay in gold medal position.
It all comes down to the last lift.
You got to make lifts, and whoever makes the final pull, whether it's this round or next round, is going to win this thing.
Blaine Sumner, 345 kilograms. Already has the 415 on the board for the world record in bench.
He also had a massive 465 squat. Now he opened the heaviest and only came away with silver in the squat.
Wasn't super clean, but it puts it on the board. It doesn't have to be pretty. 2 white lights. Now Andrei Konovalov from Russia, 375 goes on the bar.
This will move Konovalov back into the gold medal position. It'll put him...
So he has to put this one on the board.
Right, it'll put him... Remember, what's that magic number we always talk about?
It could be
2.5
kilos.
It's not about how much you can lift. It's whether you can outlift the other guy. This will put Konovalov back in the gold medal contention. He misses this. Sumner's in control. Sumner has a massive 367.5 put in for his third. He'll probably change it based on what Konovalov does right here.
So we're going to see these guys jostle around a little bit in that last lift. 375 on the bar now. Has to put this one on. Otherwise, he is going to have to do something special. And it looks good. 375. He'll slot back into that gold medal
position back for Konovalov.
Right now, though, Julian Johansson from Iceland has come all this way for this moment. A world record deadlift, 398 kilograms.
In the deadlifting, in the plus 120. You know what you're gonna do. You need to stand
398 going on the bar. This is huge.
This record has stood for 7 years.
Is today the day that we see it fall? The big Icelandic giant, Julian Johansson, 398. Here he comes.
If he makes this, it will break the world record held by Brad Gillingham, 397.5, that was set almost exactly 7 years ago to the day in Pilsen, Czechia.
And moving fast. And he has a bit of a look around at the top.
Let's
to say
see
thank you
what
very
they
much.
say.
And it
3
is
white lights.
world record, 398 kilograms. It's on the board. So we come back around for the last round now. We'll be watching the numbers to see people jostling around and changing. But right now, Chai Chi Fong, Hong Kong, 177.5. Was quite surprised to see him come out for his third. Clearly having some sort of an injury. But he just wants to finish.
We got to keep an eye on changes, too. Konovalov made 375. It looked okay. Didn't look hard. Didn't look easy. Put in 390, which is kind of a big jump there. Blaine Sumner made 345. Put in 367.5. They're trying to suck each other in. Savistinov is in. He's retaking the 335. Joey Capolino from USA missed 342.5. He's got him to 352.5. That will, if Savistinov misses his third, which his second didn't look good, it'll move, and Joe Capolino makes his third. It'll put him in to the bronze medal via body weight. Right now, Fong Shai-Shi.
It looks like he is not going to come out for that lift. He's going to pass that lift. He's left the number up there, so the other guys get that minute's rest, which is a really great sportsman-like thing to do. And I am sure he is absolutely fine. Looks like a bit of a rib cartilage injury. Very hard to pull anything in any way with a rib cartilage injury. We might try and catch up with him later and find out what happened. So right now, just running the clock down. We've got 5 seconds, then we'll load the bar for the next lifter.
So right now, Konovalov stands at 1227.5. I think that was the number I said that, well, it was based on Blaine Sumner. That actually might get Konovalov best lifter. I'm going to check the number.
Garrett Bentley from Canada now, 290 kilograms going on the bar. And those spotters and loaders must be absolutely exhausted. The amount of weight that they have had to move around through this session is just huge. One of the biggest jobs and the toughest jobs in these competitions are those spotters and loaders, and they have been outstanding all week. Garrett Bentley, 290 kilograms, is on the bar. Opened at 270, hit 287.5, missed 270, 287.5, and now looking for 290. Just couldn't quite lock out the 287.5. Can he put the 290 on the board? So Elliot is beside me, busily using his calculator and working out the mathematical formula we use for best lifter.
Yeah, I believe he will exceed that. He will take it away from Sergey Fedosenko.
And again, just doesn't look like he's locking out there. Let's see what the referees say.
Nope.
Just cannot lock it at the top. So Lupus now from Romania with 300 kilograms.
And to put Konovalov's performance in perspective so far.
So 12:42 will
Well, no,
give him enough.
no, he's already 12.
He's already there. 12:27 will give him enough.
12:27.5 already puts him at 672. Sergey Fedosenko, the great Hall of Famer, is only at 665.64. Both he and if Sumner needs a little bit more, if Sumner hits his next, they will both go over Fedosenko, but only one of them can be champion. To be champion of champions, you actually have to win
Champion
gold.
of champions is an incredible thing in its own. Winning it over the top of Fedosenko is something special.
That's amazing. And whoever wins it is going to have to beat, Sumner's going to have to beat Konovalov. Konovalov's going to have to beat Sumner. One of them will be champion of champions, beating Fedosenko, and will also be your gold medalist, 2018 World Open champion.
Well, we've got 302.5 on the bar now for Ito from Japan. And we're just keeping a close eye on those numbers. And Johansson has put in a massive 408.5 for his final lift. 666 pounds, 302.5 kilograms. Having to work, it's just a little bit too much for him. He gave it everything, but not today. So we load the bar to 335 kilograms. Volodymyr Svitsanov from the Ukraine, 335, missed this on his second attempt. So now looking to have another crack at 335.
Will be at the bronze position in the total for the moment. Followed in 1 minute.
And here he comes. The big Ukrainian, Svitsanov, 335 kilograms. Can he drag this one to the top? Gets it to the top. He looks like it might have...
Little soft, let's see.
Yeah, the
No good.
referees say no lift.
Wow.
342.5 kgs.
So only getting his opening deadlift. Right now, though, Joseph Capolino, 342.5.
He dropped back to 342.5. He put in the 367, I believe. And then a 357, he's dropped back to 342.5. This will give him the bronze medal on body weight. Here's how slight this is. Savistanov weighs 164.45. Joey Cap weighs 164.05. So 0.4 kilos, about a pound, is going to win this for Joe Capolino if he pulls this, moves him into third position. And then we still got Johansson trying to raise his deadlift. And Sumner and Cannavale's fight, but first, Joe Capolino pulling for bronze.
And just doesn't look like he locked out there. It's a no lift.
345 kgs on the bar. Jari Martikainen, Finland, 760 pounds. For Jari Martikainen, Finland.
Jari from Finland now looking for 345. Had one heck of a time with his opener.
So if Capolino had made that, the way they set that number up, if Blaine Sumner didn't make his 367.5, Capolino would have moved into third place because Sumner would have dropped down. So that's where that would have happened. If Sumner misses, Konovalov gold, Savistanov would have been silver, Capolino would have been bronze. So if you're looking at that going, why wasn't he pulling for Savistanov? That's why. He was counting on a Blaine Sumner miss and him moving up to make smart. You know, Savistanov, you don't necessarily think he's going to miss right now. Jari Martikainen, 345. And his deadlift just does not look solid today. Listen to that silence.
Yeah, look, he struggled with his opener at 340. Managed to get on his second. Didn't look that clean. And 345. Actually looked better than his second attempt. And he gets 3 white lights on this one. So the bar will stay at 345. Oh, we've had a change going from Jamie Connolly. He's going in for 347.5 now.
What did he have in before?
345. He's put another 2.5 on there.
47. This will move him into, because Martikainen didn't pull well, this will move him in the bronze medal position in the deadlift. That's why they're doing that.
So looking for a medal in the deadlifts.
I mean, if these next lifts are made, that goes by the wayside. But if he makes this, as of this moment, he is in bronze medal position in the deadlift.
All right, 347.5. Has he got it in the tank? It's a big jump. He's lifted around these weights before, so 347.5 is within reason. But it's just a bit too much at the end of a big day.
And he was trying to move in third, if only temporarily, but you know, you got to take that shot here at Worlds.
Right now, we're loading the bar up to 365 for Blaine Sumner.
He makes this. He's at 1245 and in gold medal position. He misses this. He stands at 1225.
Yeah, look, I mean, this is a big lift for him. If he puts this on the board, he forces Konovalov then to actually have to pull to get back for that gold medal.
Yep.
If he misses this, Konovalov has it all his own way.
Yeah, if he misses this, Konovalov is your world champion, and he'll just be pulling for glory.
Right now, Blaine Sumner, 365 on the bar.
This is the world championship here. If Blaine Sumner makes it, then Konovalov must pull. If Sumner misses, Konovalov is the champion.
Oh, Oh, and he couldn't hold on to it, so Konovalov gets it all his own way.
Konovalov is world
He can
champion.
pull whatever he wants for his final lift. He is going to be the world champion.
400 kgs on the bar.
So Konovalov has decided to pull for 400 kilograms to
Might as
attempt
well
the
go.
world record. He has nothing to lose. He has the gold medal for the world champion in hand. It is his. Cannot lose it, cannot be taken away. So right now he's pulling for a world record 400 kilograms.
I mean, we've had 56 world records here.
It is just phenomenal, and it's not over yet.
I mean, are we going to have 57 and then followed by another for 58? Who knows? But right now, Kolovanov's got Konovalov.
It is a tongue twister, that one.
The guy's got 400, 881 pounds on the bar.
400. And to all our viewers around the world, if we have pronounced your name incorrectly at any time throughout the event, we do apologise. We do our best.
And now you see the size of this man coming out for a 400 kilo. He weighs 161 kilos. The pole, 105, world record. 420 at 105.3. But this is an amazing pull nonetheless. 400 kilo world record attempt.
He's got it. It's just a little bit too heavy. He gives the weights a bit of a pat. Says thank you very much, but he's the world champion. But right now, Julian Johansson from Iceland, 405 kilograms on the bar for a world record attempt. He already owns the world record now at 398. Now he wants to solidify that with a 405.
I mean, this record has stood for 7 years. Johansson smoked that 398. I'm not betting against him here.
Yeah,
405.
398 looked fantastic. 405. It's not a huge jump. He's only thrown on 7 kilos there.
No, and if he can put another 20, 25 kilos on his bench press in the next 4 to 5 years, he could win this. He could win this
another
thing.
world champion. But right now, 405 kilograms on the bar for a world record attempt. Julian Johansson from Iceland.
The last lift of an amazing week at the World Open
This
Championships.
is it, folks. The last lift of this competition, and it's on a world record.
And everybody is on their feet.
He gets it to the top. I think he's got this. Let's wait for the referees. 3 white lights. What a way to finish this incredible week of competition with a world record pull. We couldn't have scripted that any better to finish on a world record pull. I mean, I wish I had been the one that asked him at the start, saying, look, we want to make this really good. Can you finish on a world record pull for us? That would be fantastic. This is it. World champion Konovalov from Russia takes out the world championship in the 120 pluses. Blaine Sumner gets the silver medal. And Svitsinov from the Ukraine gets the bronze. What an incredible week of competition, and what a way to finish it. Cannot thank everyone enough. Big shout to all the sponsors, of course, Alico, Uplift, SPD, everyone who's got behind this, all the volunteers. And Elliot, thank you so much for joining us in the commentary box and giving up so much of your time. He has worked tirelessly this week. We couldn't have done it without you. We will see you all very soon at the next great IPF World Championship event. But for now, good night.
See ya. Woof woof.
Here they come. Give them a round of applause, please. All the lifters in the plus 120 kg. I'd like to make a presentation of the people who are going to hand over the medals. That's the IPF president, Mr. Gaston Perage. Round of applause. And Mr. Erik Blomberg, CEO of Leico, our sponsor. All the lifters will have a glass memory from the World Championships. So we got the medals for the squat. Bronze medal goes to Ukraine and Vladimir Svitunov, 447.5 kgs. Silver medal goes to USA and Blaine Summer, 465. Gold medal goes to Russia and Andrei Konovalov, 475. Photos. Thank you. In the bench press, bronze medal goes to Ukraine and Volodymyr Svitunov, 367.5. Silver medal goes to Russia and Andrei Konovalov, 377.5. Gold medal goes to USA and Blaine Sumner with a new world record, 415 kgs. Thank you, спасибо. Deadlift, bronze medal goes to Finland, Jari Martikainen, 345. Silver medal goes to Russia and Andrei Konovalov, 375. And the gold medal goes to Iceland and Julian Johansson on the new world record, 405 kgs. Photos. Thank you. And for the total, bronze medal goes to Ukraine, Volodymyr Svitunov, 1,135 kgs. Silver medal goes to USA and Blaine Sumner, 1,225. And the gold medal and world champion from Russia, Andrei Konovalov, 1,227.5 kg. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand up for the national anthem of Russia? Give them a round of applause, please, now when the lifter are leaving the platform.